They may spend every off-duty minute polishing their shiny boots and marching up and down the parade ground in perfect formation, but don't let that fool you. These men are steel-eyed, cold-blooded killers, and I'd as soon have a platoon of them in my force as I would a company of other troops.
The Mordian Iron Guard are a regiment of the Astra Militarum serving during the era Indomitus. An elite force hailing from the small planet of Mordia, the overcrowded hive cities bask in the orbital quirk of Mordia's rotational speed and orbit to its sun being perfectly synchronized, resulting in a Mordian day cycle being identical to a planet year of orbit. One side of the planet is cloaked in perpetual darkness, whilst the other is seared in endless, scorching light. Dwelling solely within the shadow of their planet's sun, the populace cramps itself within a portion of Earth 1/10 of that of Holy Terra, burgeoning with large multi-level tower cities of steel and ceramics. An authoritarian society, the ruling Tetrarchy of Mordia strictly controls rationing and resource distribution within the cities, cloaked by ebon skies, known as the World of Eternal Night. Discontent and rebellion is rife within the populace, with only one force capable of stemming disorder and anarchy. The Iron Guard, when not deployed upon distant campaigns, maintain order within Mordia, as both a military and law enforcement organization. Swift to crush any uprisings upon their homeworld, hospice riots and Q-wars are rife upon Mordia, and require no hesitation to prevent the unrest of its people. Named for their unwavering discipline and cold, dour demeanor, the Iron Guard bear stark contrast to the rabble of the civilian populace. Outnumbered hundreds of thousands of civilians to one soldier, each Iron Guard is rigorously drilled in combat doctrines to carry out swift compliance by order of their oligarchic rulers. Tithing the Iron Guard to the Imperium in exchange for much-needed resources, Mordia's soldier caste are famous throughout the galaxy. Most commonly formed into infantry divisions, the Mordian Iron Guard's disregard for camouflage fatigues illustrates their iconic choice of war gear. Dressed in pristine dress uniforms, reinforced with flak armor, the brightly colored and ceremonial warriors of Mordia are often underestimated for their gaudy attire. Armed with las pistols and triplex pattern las guns, inscribed with heirloom inscriptions made with gold filigree, the gleaming and ostentatious warriors of Mordia are a sight to behold when arrayed in battle lines. Perceived as vainglorious peacocks by their foes, the Mordians use their enemies' mistaken prejudices to exploit their arrogance. Finding it difficult to adjust to environments unlike to hive cities or starship interiors, the Mordian Iron Guard excel in urban warfare environments and densely packed war zones. Forming perfectly precise firing lines to unleash volleys of las fire, their iron-willed discipline prevents any possibility for the chaos of war surrounding their lines from affecting or disrupting their battle formations. Unleashing timed volleys behind walls of bayonet points, the shelling of artillery from behind their vanguard lines, and rapid reinforcement of armored tank squadrons are choreographed to perfection. Never recorded to have broken under pressure, abandoned their positions or disobeyed orders from their superiors, the Mordian Iron Guard are almost superhuman in their fortitude. Following their orders to the letter, hesitation is impossible to commit by any member of the Iron Guard, as they rigidly obey the chain of command. Famous for both their line soldiers and tank crews charging into the thickest of battle without restraint, the Iron Guard march into war as the most professional soldiers of the Imperium. Creating lavish standards for each new regiment founded, within the Mordian Tetrarchal Palace, the parade ground ceremony sees each new member of the Guard swear an oath to never let their colors fall in battle or be claimed by the enemy. Displaying the Iron Eagle of Mordia proudly on their armored vehicles, the sign of the Emperor imbues within their ranks the steely resolve of the Master of Mankind. Their deeds no less than legendary among the length and breadth of the Imperium, their actions during the Battle of Mordian would forever cement their reputation as among the finest mortal warriors of humanity. Facing the entire forces of a chaos invasion orchestrated by the ruinous powers, Mordia would stand defiant against their malevolent foes. During one exceedingly hot summer, as the stifling heat drained the surface of Mordia, civil unrest gripped the streets of the planet. Beneath its hive cities, a conspiracy to usurp the rulers of Mordia brewed as the Dark Gods themselves interceded to aid their plot. Spilling innocent blood in exchange for their fell gifts, the conspirators would kill millions more should their own power be sated. Cannibal mobs spilled from the underhives as winged monsters hovered high above the city streets. The Eye of Terror spewed forth untold void ships of the warbands of chaos as they descended upon Mordia. Ordering the astropaths to call for aid, the Tetrarchs of Mordia would dispatch the Iron Guard to combat the invaders. The sheer force of chaos melted the astropaths' minds, for no aid would reach Mordia in its time of greatest need. Standing their ground, the Iron Guard, after hours of resistance, would order the retreat to the capital of Mordia and abandon the remainder of the planet to the overwhelming onslaught. Fortifying the city of Vanandra, the Iron Guard created kill zones and watchtowers, with the Tetrarchal Palace acting as their headquarters. Repelling Chaos Space Marines, cultists, and even greater demons such as Bloodthirsters of Khorne and Tzeentch's Keepers of Secrets from their walls, the Iron Guard would stand. Tightening their lines as they gradually fell back close to the Tetrarchal Palace, the Iron Guard gave up ground gradually, yet cost their enemies dearly in blood. Their discipline unbreakable, even in the face of such dire odds, as greater demons of Nurgle began to flood the streets of Vanandra, supported by the Plague Marines of the Death Guard Legion. Firing volley upon volley of lasfire and autocannon rounds into the swarms of traitor Marines and demons, gore ran thick around the Tetrarchal Palace until the tether of the ruinous powers to allow their forces to remain in the material realm waned. Dissolving in front of their eyes, the demonic forces of chaos had been outlasted by the warriors of Mordia. Their call for aid relayed to the wider Imperium. Outside the borders of Mordia, sanctioned psychers had been toiling to weaken the ruinous power's presence within the material realm. Their actions this day among the most legendary battles fought by the Astra Militarum, their pedigree as among the most elite warriors of the Imperium, is well earned. Currently dispatched to the Spinwood Front, within the Segmentum Obscurus, alongside the Katakan Jungle Fighters, Talon Desert Raiders, and Elysian Drop Troops, their presence is treated with resentment by their allies. Fighting to the death, should they receive no order to retreat, the Mordians have sold their lives dearly to the Spinwood Front. Also deployed to the Stygius Crusade, following the birth of the Great Rift caused by Abaddon the Despoiler's 13th Black Crusade, the sector is embroiled in cultist uprisings devoted to the Changer of Ways. Led by Magnus the Red, his 1,000 sons and the greater demon, Makakan, the forces of Tzeentch would, after conquering 3 star systems, resolve to claim Mordia. Once more defending their homeworld, the Iron Guard would survive long enough for reinforcements of the Adeptus Astartes and Skitarii legions to intervene. The orders of their stern commanding officers further emboldening their resolve, even in the most treacherous and doomed campaigns.
No remorse, no mercy, no forgiveness. Not a single step back. Not a single moment of hesitation. You will not succumb to fear or doubt, and you will relent only after you have given your last moment for the Emperor. Nothing less than this will be tolerated.